and 70s, a phenomenon started in the inner cities where groups of friends passionate for unique style car got together to cruise the boulevard.
It was just a time when, even today, I think back at it at times, it was just an awesome time. There's times that I miss so much, and Jesse was around, all the guys were around, the originality of the cars, how clean they were, you know, how we all got together, cruise the boulevard, we just had good times. And
Picking up girls, listening to music from artists like War, Malo, and of course Santana. I'm talking about lowriding. This trend quickly spread to the boulevards across the country, with one of the most recognized ones being Whittier Boulevard. The trend on those streets evolved into formalized clubs.
The clubhouse was for anybody that wanted to use it. It didn't matter if it was during the week or if they didn't have a place to stay. That's what Jesse and 4 officers wanted us to let everybody know in the club, that this was for all of us.
Families even got into the game. The Huelas brothers of the Dukes, the Valadez brothers of the Imperials.
You could just feel it, like everything about it, like with the cars being there, with the guys being there, the music, everything, like, and like we just learned like that's our family. Like to other people, like our last name is just Valadez, but if we say it to anybody else, like if we say it to another club, it's like, oh, we know your dad, like we know your dad, or we know your mom.
The first time that I even dressed up rockabilly or a pinup, my dad saw me and he really liked it. Like he told me that I looked really, that I looked really pretty, and he supported me.
Well, I think Jesse was a real low-key man. Even though he was quiet on the outside, kind of, he was hard on the inside.
Right.
But when he came out in a good way. And his thing with himself and basically the Imperials was to show the community what the club was about, how upper class we were, and to help the community by doing benefit stuff. He wasn't worried about making money for himself. He was worried about getting this name up and bigger.
right.
And Jesse had no quarrels about bringing his car up to be able to do something like that. Jesse was a real quiet gentleman, but he was a hard person. But someone like that was someone you want to follow. You didn't need loud enough in there. You need someone that knew what he's thinking about. He always had his heart
He
for
had a
the
lot
community.
of respect for the guys.
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody else as good as Jesse has ever been. Hopefully again, little Jesse will be just like him.
I have so many memories with my father. I'll give one memory of my father and I. I'm going to say early 1980s during the softball era. And we were at the lot. We were one of the last cars to leave the lot for some reason. And we left Atlantic and Beverly, the Safeway lot. My dad's sitting here, driver's seat, I'm passenger. I could barely look over the top of the headrest or the dashboard, so I really couldn't see out, but I can see looking out the passenger window. And I could see everybody looking at the car and staring and pointing and going, look, there was Gypsy Rose. And I kind of felt like I was in a parade or like a grand marshal. And I kind of felt like the queen too at the same time doing my little wave. But that was one of my fondest memories of being in the rows with my father. And of course not being able to look over the top, but to the sides I was able to see. Lowriders have played a very significant, I'm going to say a high priority role in my life, for the fact that I could say I was pretty much born into lowriding since I came into the world in 1974. I could say that because my father and my mother are both lowriders. Obviously my father with the Gypsy Rolls, and my mom at that time with their 56 Chevy. And with both of them meeting at Miles Square Park and I think the city of Fountain Valley, that's where the spark met. So.
Our first date, actually the day when I met him, the first day out at Miles Square Park, I met him and his brother and some of the other members of the club. They wanted to really get acquainted with my sister and my cousin Monica, and I really didn't know Jesse yet, and the girls wanted to stay with these members that they had met, and I'm like, we need to really get home, it's getting late. And the girl, can these 2 guys follow us home? And I said, all right, you can follow me home. you know, it's just two guys, right? Two other guys. No, it was the whole caravan following me behind my car. I didn't know what to do. I took him by my neighborhood, and I went down my street. My father's outside by the door, and he's like, "Wife, look what your daughter's bringing home." And I can hear him from the street, and I'm like, "Oh no, this is not good."
So in reality, there's really three Gypsy Roses. There was a 1960 Impala, 1963 Impala, and 1964 Impala. But the one that really inspired everybody is the 63, but most importantly is the 64.
Today, the Imperials are still going strong, having just celebrated 45 years of traditional lowriding. The pioneer Jesse Valadez, who's rightfully named a true legend of the game, may have passed on, but the story of the three Gypsy Roses now lives on in his memory.
My name is Jesse Valadez. I would like to thank Moving Violations for making my father the first legend of the game.